Howdy everybody, this is HR Prime here, and welcome to another Overwatch video. Today, we're going to discuss the viability of Junkrat on Oasis. First off, I want to talk about what this map is, and this map is a King of the Hill map. This is the fourth one, in fact, in the map, along with Illis, Legion Tower, and Nepal. Now, Junkrat's not been the best at these type of maps. For instance, Illis is probably Junkrat's weakest map in the game, due to it being so open and Pharahs and snipers being extremely easy to use on that map, and they counter Junkrat extremely hard. On the other hand, a map like Legion Tower has been Junkrat's best King of the Hill, since some of the areas are more condensed, especially in the observatory area, where he can lock down the enemy team in the hallways leading up to the point. So how does Oasis stack up? Well, you have to look on each part of the map, the three different parts, and we have to determine if Junkrat is at a disadvantage or at an advantage. So the three different parts of this map. First, we have the city center, which is the one that has the giant jump pad, which in fact is actually the second jump pad in the game, which the first one is the Lucio ball stuff. I guess you could say that it's the fifth one, since there are about four of them in that game, but I digress. The city center thing is the one with the jump pad, and it has the more open area capture point and stuff like that. Next is the gardens, which opens up into more of a botanic area where there is a giant tower that is not the point, but actually has a med pack in the middle of it. Most of the fights are fought there, but there is a more open area for the capture point. And the last one is University, which takes place, of course, inside of a university here on the map. And it also has a hole in the middle of the point where you can jump down into for a health pack. Now, these different things will have different effects on how Junkrat is effective on this map. First off, let's talk about the first area, which is City Center. Of course, this is the one with the jump pad, and that is one of the big parts of this, is that the balcony is a perfect spot for sniper fire. If they have a sniper on that side and are able to keep that area, then it can be quite difficult for Junkrat, or pretty much any non-ranged character, to come out of the hallways to get to the point. Of course, if you do get yourself caught up on top of that balcony with another player, you can imagine that area to be a small hallway, as some players might not be smart enough, although that's kind of demeaning to them, to jump off the sides to avoid your fire. I found myself being able to jump on there and spam out a Hanzo that really didn't know that there was a railing to jump over, which was quite entertaining and sad for him, but it's something to keep in mind, that it can act like a small hallway even though it's not. You can place a trap onto the jump pad or outside jump pad, but I'm not exactly sure how buggy it is. I might remember a time where I placed it on the middle of there and someone jumped as soon as they got trapped, and it didn't really trap them even though it said they did. They kind of flew with a broken piece of the model of the trap flying. As for the point itself, it's kind of a difficult one for Junkrat. It's more open than you like. The middle building can provide a little bit of cover for you, but still being able to fire at someone that you probably can't predict their movements is going to be very difficult. As for like the outside areas, they're more hallway types, which is something that Junkrat can excel in. The hallways are a bit large, but they can provide an excellent range for firing down to unsuspecting players. If you get pushed back to your hallways, or you push them up to theirs, then you can easily spam out either way to push into the point or keep them away from the point. The second area I want to talk about is the gardens. This is, of course, the area that is covered with greens and flowers and all that stuff. It has the giant tower whenever you come out into the northern part, I assume is the northern part, that only houses a med pack for usage, and is usually where most of the fights will begin. It's not an important part to take, but it is right next to the point, and if you can't hold it, then it's good. It's kind of like the points in the first part, the city center, or whatever it was called. It's can be difficult to hold as a Junkrat, but it still has that possibility of there being a more of the middle building being there. If someone goes into the middle building, it's a bit more open, so it's a bit harder to hit, but it also can be extremely easy to kill someone if they decide to go in there and you know that they're in there. It's quite fun for that area. As for the point itself, it's again really open and can be hard, but there are hallways once again on either side. I prefer, once we capture the point, to go over to their hallway area where they'll be walking and spam down that, since it's more narrow, but there are multiple ways to get into that area. You have to look out behind you because there is another balcony and another underneath area that is very easy to cover as Junkrat. If you so just want to cover the back area and the side hallway, this could be extremely effective for your team to hold down the points for whatever time it is. As for pushing, it can be a bit more difficult, but that usually is the case for King of the Hill. The final area I want to talk about is University. Now this one is, in my opinion, the best part for Junkrat, as it seems a little bit more condensed than the others. Given the library area of the university on either side is a little bit more open than most, but not too open that you will have to worry about a lot of classes. The only thing you'll have to worry about in that area is Farah. Now on the point in particular, there are wall areas that you can shoot over very easily, and there are hallways on either other side that can be locked down extremely easy by Junkrat. This seems a little bit more available to spam over into the area's general vicinity, or to shoot down the hallway to easily hit them that they're trying to push into. So in the end, how does this map fare up for Junkrat? Well, I probably wouldn't pick Junkrat to play competitively against a semi-decent team in the higher ranks, but I wouldn't put it out of the question. But I would definitely play more on quick play or other game modes that will play this map, as it is quite fun to play Junkrat on it. It's not as bad as Illis, but it's not as good as like Eichenwald for Junkrat. So all in all, if I were gonna give it a number or something, which I don't like doing numbers, I'd say like 6 out of 10, but the number doesn't matter. It's an alright map for Junkrat, but you know, all around a very good map. And here's to having more maps added to the game very, very soon. So thank you all so much for watching. This has been HR Brian. Thanks for your time. God bless, and happy gaming.